Hey everybody, it's Soul Folks. I'm just having fun today. It is Tuesday. It's getting a little chilly where I live, but it's not too bad yet. It's supposed to be about 25 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. Some people were asking me, about enchanting their gear. Like, hey, I've got just a little bit of essence. I'm obviously working my way through the ranks. How should I spend it? I've done a few videos on this before. And when we start looking at my different items, you'll notice that it's kind of different for each one, but it's all about the same. The first thing I like to point out is all of my low level gear I've got to about a +9 or a +10, and depending on which heroes use those items really determines whether or not I raise them beyond that. For the cost that they are, so if I click on this one, it's not going to be bad. Worst case scenario, I'm going to spend 5,000 points. Now at this point the ratio really isn't that great, but early on it's a pretty good ratio. Even in the green equipment, you're going to notice a lot of my green equipments I get to at least that +7. I haven't done here just because you'll notice the grouping that I have down here isn't really a high group for me yet. So I kind of pick and choose again based on the heroes that I'm using, who's in that group, to really kind of pursue the further ones. As I start getting into the blues, now once I get into the blues, I become a little bit more focused on what are some long-term items. Now again, I'm just going to pick an item here. It's 668. Depending on how this goes, that could cost me 3,000. It could cost me 700. So I kind of pick and choose, if it's worth it for me to go on those items, but again, like, I'm going to choose this spore here. This is something I wanted max because I'm going to get 12% lifesteal with my mages. I put this on my vortex, and it gives him that lifesteal. Every time he's doing damage, he's staying alive longer. So for me, I really like using that on him. Some of the other items, just because they're not what I would consider big items, I haven't even done it. And you look down here with these two, I haven't even touched it, just because for me I don't use them. It's not really worth it. We kind of move again into this range down here. You're going to see a lot of the stuff's kind of similar. I don't do a lot with it. I might come back here and do the burning staff if I ran a penetration one, but with the characters that are on it, I'm not really using them, and I don't really need the magic penetration off of those. Again, my healers, not a big issue. These guys I don't really use, so I'd rather have some of the other items. I get down here, you're going to see I've got a +13, and that's because on these guys I use this for that lifesteal. Again, this is when their hit points drop below, I'm going to pick up 26% attack speed as well as a physical lifesteal. And I'll probably run this item on some of those guys, even into Orange 1. So rest of it, again, I don't have these major stat boosts that I'm going for. Sometimes I might want to pick up something for a particular hero. So again, this one raises some of the ability power. I might go ahead and use that energy boost and magic penetration. I might go ahead and raise it up because I'm using it on like a vortex. Once you start getting into the purple, stuff gets expensive quick. So I really want to be choosy here on how I do spend my essence. So again, you see on a cloak here, I'm using it's a +13. I've got it maxed out. It's lifesteal, again, health regen effects. So I've got it maxed out at 20. But again, let's talk about who's using it. Again, Jacob. Jacob's a lifesteal guy. I want him to have this item. It's the best item he's got, basically, until the very end, some might argue. Lilith, same thing again here. Those are kind of those two options here. Frosty the Snowman, Poulon, you partner him with two healers. Obviously, he's getting heals. He's getting 20% more heals from those healers. You give them the item which increases their heals. I mean, suddenly it really kind of kicks in. So you'll notice I do some +9s. Again, certain characters, certain items. Here's a +13 also. Why? Because this is an item I'm going to use all the way throughout, where I'm doing an extra 5,000 damage every attack. It's not going to come off of gears. It's going to stay there. So again, I've spent kind of evenly, but a little bit of here and there. I really maximize my spending during those essence events. I don't go outside of those times usually, and do that. And then again here you see, these are all +5s. Now you might say this one was a +7. I did this mainly because I need a little extra tankage health with my monkey guy for the crystal dungeons. But the rest of this is +5. Again, the majority of people don't have it. And, we start looking at the costs. Well, now I'm spending 2,000 a pop. It gets expensive. I could easily spend over 12,000 essence here on an item. So I get real kind of particular in how I spend that. It gets even worse once you get into orange. I've got my orange guys and my other server, and it just gets costly. And so I try to kind of get the best bang for my essence. Now, if I'm trying to unlock an item, obviously I don't have any of these equipped here, but I'm going to pick here like the Frost Whale. I'm going to max this out because this is something I'm going to run on these guys and these girls that are going to be useful in one of my in-game items. I'm going to max out again here, this item here for wreck, because it takes away the stuns or the silences or any of those things. So I'm going to get them to at least the +5, so it's usable for their skill set. So when you're spending points, really think about, hey, if I'm hitting 6 guys, 7 guys, 8 guys, it's worth it to go on it. But then if I've only got 2 guys and I don't use them, don't waste it. Save it for something that you really need. Really pick those items that are going to be your core items throughout and really focus on those. Maximize your team that you're using in the arena to really get the best bang for your buck. And then again, get more, it ends in 19 hours. Make sure you're really doing it during this part of the thing to collect that extra essence. I didn't spend anything for like a week because I had all these purples I didn't have any points into and all these things. But when the essence events finally came in, I finally spent it, and I spent big because, not that I needed the ship, but because I finally had all these items in purple too that I wanted to get. Plus I wanted to get all these items finally maxed out in my purple ones. I hope this helps you. Again, think about long-term planning. Think about, really just picking the ones for the heroes that you're using and getting those first. This item here I just got for this event because I wasn't using it. Again, likewise, this item I just got because, again, I wasn't using it. So, kind of go from there. If you got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. I love to read them, guys. I try to answer them as best as I can. Thanks again for 1,000 subs. I'm still blown away. My kids are like, they're crazy. My dad's got a YouTube channel with 1,000 subs. And I'm like, I wasn't trying. So it's just kind of cool. But hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later.